Haha, well, look at this. I did it. Welcome to the Offload Delay podcast. Very special guests, plural guests today from the Cruz FM network in Edmonton, 95.7. We have the entire locker room crew. Believe me, this was a bit of a feat of scheduling. It was
Well, not that we need to squirrel down this rabbit hole, but we are working on our end on getting a video sort of component for the show, and they put cameras in the control room
so we can do like Zooms with Kim Mitchell.
Yeah.
The trooper.
So we have these cameras, and we have obviously a different setup here in a radio station. We're not just sitting in front of a laptop at home with a USB mic, right? We have a board, and the engineer has been sort of working with us on getting this thing to work. So to mix the two, the video and the audio, right?
Yeah, we had problems with echoes because we're all in the same room together, but I think we got it sorted out.
I think we got it sorted out.
I'm not sure we have enough Cruz promotion in our videos.
I even decided to wear the hat, boys, and see.
There you go, the locker room hat. So
yeah,
anyway, this is kind of a test for us too, Brad.
Good.
Because when we started talking a couple of weeks ago about being on your podcast, I mean, if the three of us do it, Jimmy's literally from the Den of Sadness, with a crappy laptop. Grant's, on his porch with a smoke and his phone, and I'm in the basement. So I thought, listen, if we are going to jump on your podcast, it might as well be this, and this is sort of all working. We're kind of testing you too.
Yeah,
so
really
you're
appreciate
new to
it.
this, and we're new to this, and yes, this is a new element.
We're getting some streaming difficulties, some freeze frames and that, but the sound's there. The message is getting across. This podcast for mine lately has been a little bit serious, and I was looking forward to having you guys because we need some lightheartedness on here every once in a while too. So let me begin. Any one of you have any formal medical training other than Dr. Locke?
Well, I joke that I'm a doctor because it says so on my scene card. Whenever I fill out any forms for like anything, I always, if there's a doctor option, because I find it funny when mail shows up for Dr. Locke.
Jimmy.
But no, I have no medical training.
Jimmy, if the three of you are out, who's the medical guy?
We're effed. All three of us.
Yeah. We actually have a mutual understanding that any of us need CPR. None of us are giving it to each other.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And to roll tape.
Yeah, that'd be a do not resuscitate order on our end, and we can honor it as well. You can actually have the professionals take that into heart too. Any one of you ever break a bone?
Yes.
Break a bone.
Who said yes? My pinky.
You broke. That's not a bone. Come on, Jimmy. You broke a pinky finger.
I've broken a hand and an ankle before.
You have, eh? Yeah. And sports related? What was it?
Yeah, both. The hand, I got hit with a helmet playing football.
Any of them needing?
That one led to a blood clot, actually.
Oh, wow.
The ankle was playing indoor football in a gym, and I rolled over it and broke it.
So. I've never broken a bone, to be honest with you, because I think I've got really good bones. I have taken some tailbone. Major bone. Yeah, but that's not. It's caustic is like.
I want you to say that again for me. I like
that. Explain it to you.
What is? So it's three pieces, and they're attached by cartilage.
Correct.
Like there is kind of a bone down there in your tailbone.
Yeah.
So the tip, the three parts, the tip broke off on mine. Is what they said. So it floats. I got taken out behind the boards, behind the net playing hockey when I was 40. And he hit me right around the neck when I was going around the net, and I went straight up in the air, and I landed on my tailbone.
Hands up, no hands down, ass first.
Nope, right on my butt.
And that hurts.
Apparently very painful, and I bet you got some lasting effects. Okay.
Yes, I still actually think that my issues with my hips and tightness in my buttocks
Right.
is all related to cracking, snapping, whatever my tailbone. But I think I may have broken a toe when I was a kid,
Right.
but they don't tell you. They don't X-ray it. They
No,
just send you
there's
home.
nothing you can do. Like your pinky, right, Jimmy? There's probably nothing. You just tape it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, not much you can do.
I've never broken anything other than my pinky, but I have dislocated almost everything.
Oh, Jimmy,
Yeah, Jimmy's just a walking dislocation.
Yeah,
he sneezes and his back's out. And
I've dislocated fingers playing sports, right?
Yeah. So for those audience people out here, especially in Ontario, who don't know you guys, we're gonna call you the world's best morning show, but you're out of Edmonton, so you're at least the best one in Edmonton, and probably Canada.
And people
we're
can
gonna go with
stream
that.
us 95.7 Cruz FM. Yes.
Absolutely, and that's how I came to meet you guys. I actually met you guys here. Well, there's you as your afternoon gig, or what's our afternoon out here with Dean Blundell, and we're on the Dean Blundell network, and we got to meet that way, and that's where I found this amazing morning show, and I actually stream it now from Ontario all the time.
Cool. Well, and you take part in our contests and text us all the time.
You still have to cash in. You were the grand prize winner.
Yeah, you get the weekend stay at the Dennis Sadness.
I got this here.
You still have your DVD player here.
There it is.
I got this here. I became a victim of the Dennis Sadness secret sound of the day, where for those of you out there not aware, this is where Jimmy offered his house up unknowingly for the weekend, his apartment. After we had to guess secret sounds that were coming out of his apartment.
And he actually wanted to fix the contest because he knew that one of the qualifiers, was from Ontario. And he said to me in the car ride in, we don't need to get into this, but he said, I think I want to pick Brad as the winner because I don't think Brad's going to make his way to Ontario to take up. Because he didn't want some crazy listener.
So Jimmy,
I'm still coming. Don't kid yourself.
Jimmy fixed the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm still coming, Jimmy.
Only put your name in.
I need that. Is it the slow cooker or is it the Instapot?
You got the
Instapot. What's your best meal in that one, Jimmy? What are we having?
You promised a meal for the winner.
In the Instapot.
Yeah.
Wine.
I'm gonna do a pot roast with canned vegetables.
Oh, nice. No
From the dollar store.
cilantro. No cilantro, Jimmy.
I'll take the cilantro.
Everyone knows Jimmy makes his pot roast with cilantro. Though.
That's right. Yeah, and everyone who doesn't needs to look Jimmy up and look up his recipe. It's quite a story. Now, Jimmy, those that can't see this pod, your stream's a little broken here. I'm going to try and see if I can bring you in. Does that help at all, Jimmy? No, we're getting some broken video. That's okay. We still have your sound.
It looks like like those beheading videos.
So, Jimmy, what are we calling you? I've heard Locke and Grant call you everything from a little person to a midget to a dwarf. What's the proper term, Jimmy? How do we respect
That's kind
you?
of a loaded question. So, technically speaking, under politically correctness, I'm supposed to call myself a little person.
Okay.
But technically, biologically speaking, I'm the type of little personism I guess I have is dwarfism. Is dwarfism, so I'm technically a dwarf too.
Okay.
But I'm told it's offensive.
Now, I don't want to offend you. We can call you whatever you're willing to be called. So as long as it's clear on this show. Now, with that syndrome, that condition you have, Jimmy, you would call it whatever you want. There's a condition sometimes where people with your situation need a shunt. Is that right?
It's yes, but it's not linked to being
not
a dwarf
directly.
It's not linked, but there are some that do. There are quite a few that do, but a lot of average sized people also have the shunt as well.
Right, and I will quickly just get into, for those out there that have no clue, sometimes there's a condition called hydrocephalus, and it can be an accumulation of cerebral spinal fluid in the brain, and it needs to be drained out, correct?
Yes.
And that is an ongoing process, and that shunt has been in with you for how long, Jimmy?
I just turned 47. I had to put in when I'm 11, so a few years.
Is there no expiry dates on these things, fellas?
There's supposed to be.
It's like 10 years.
But I went to a specialist about 12 years ago, maybe 13 years ago, and he says you're perfectly fine. You can come back in 10 years. So
That
I'm
was
planning
13
on
years
going.
ago.
So I'm planning on going.
20. He'll be fine though. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry,
But it's
those,
just- it was
those
perfectly
memory
fine.
lapses he has and moments where he's just staring off into space, nothing to do with the expired
Right.
shot.
Are we blaming the shunt for that though?
Or is it my alcoholism that
It's a
I'm usually drunk or
combination.
hungover?
It's
I was
rusty
gonna-
and stuff.
I was going to title this podcast, guys, "My Shunt Don't Stink," because you've mentioned and joked around Jimmy. Jimmy has a certain aura around him, and
Shunt
I heard you
happens.
blame the shunt. But
Yeah,
as far
shunt
as I can
happens when
tell,
you're
the
Jimmy.
shunt isn't possible, is it, Jimmy? It's not possible for that thing to smell, is it?
Unless there's a hole in my head.
That's right. Yeah.
There's
Well,
fluid leaking out.
We want to get him
Yeah.
a new one for Christmas that hooks up to our phones, so
Yeah.
we can play music on the golf course.
Yeah.
They aren't an electronic device.
The new one's a Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Actually, it has a pump in it. So
It's not really a pump.
like the running shoes lock, like the
yeah,
Reebok
like,
pump.
like
Air
Air,
Jordans.
like Air Jordans.
No, it's a siphon. It's basically a siphon. So it's like a rubber ball. It's almost like an eyedropper where you push down and it pushes it out through the abdomen and
Right.
brings it back in.
So the reason why Jimmy, when we tease him about having one that's been like, you're not supposed to have it in there as long as he's had it. And we tease him about the fact that he should go get it checked and upgraded. The reason why he doesn't, if we're being honest about it, has to do with the fact that he can test it himself. So if he's at home on the weekend and he's got a headache or whatever, he will give it and I've seen him do it. He'll give the side of his head a couple of pumps, and it will clear. So as long as it's still circulating, I don't think he needs to be concerned about it. I think that if there's a problem with it, and I could be wrong, is they plug or they stop working, right, Jimmy?
Right.
That's what I've been told.
Yes.
Right.
I
And
mean,
you'll
there
have
are days,
symptoms
though,
with
I
that, right,
wonder.
Jimmy?
Yes.
You're right. Okay, so enough shunt stuff. I'm sure you don't want to talk about your shunt all pod, and I'm sure Grant's overly excited that we're on that topic again. Now, you guys have no shame, and I absolutely love it, and it's part of your show. It's part of your stick. Grant.
Yeah.
What's this? If anyone can't see this, it's a blue onesie with a hood.
Billboard on the side of Roger's place.
And I noticed this is used in some of your promos, and you
It's on
guys
the
are
buses.
everywhere.
Yeah.
You guys
Literally,
are
I've
like
seen
all around Edmonton.
Myself in that onesie on the side of the hockey arena going to
Oh,
a game
I don't
or
know.
a concert.
I don't know. Well, what about this one? What about this one? Like, is this a bus shelter and you guys are there just?
That was a Rod
scarps
Stewart
off?
concert.
Outside, yeah.
Do you think we're sexy as the billboard
that
if
was
you're doing
outside
just
Rogers
the audio?
Place.
And these three studs are sitting here shirtless, trying to
That
keep
one
the women. There was a clear camera shot at this poster because no one was hoarding around it at the time.
That one was
But I'm
also
sure
on the
it was
side
a
of the
brief
arena.
moment. But you guys are. I mean, was this billboard here? You can't make this shit up. Was that around town?
Yeah.
Or was that an
That's
online
our,
promo?
that's our current campaign right now.
I love
That's our fall billboard campaign.
I
So
love that.
if you're driving around those digital boards,
Yep.
we have them rolling on the digital boards in town.
Have you noticed a big help with the online streaming? Have you had some increased traffic?
Well,
Kind of hard to gauge.
yeah, it's tough to know. I mean, we are rated, but we're not privy to that information. And to be honest, it's not something that I want to. It's not a conversation I want to have on a regular basis with the people that do look at it. I'd rather just come in and do the show. Occasionally, we'll get numbers locally, like at the end of a ratings period, we'll get a sort of brief rundown about how well we're doing, and we're doing very well. The show has been growing, and it's been growing since we've been on the air.
Well, you guys are
celebrating our 5th
fantastic.
anniversary.
You're an older kind of throwback to the way the morning shows used to be a lot more.
The streaming numbers have been going up. Like, we have been told that we are attracting a larger audience, and I think some of that has to do with, at least a marginal amount of it has to do with the increased listening from the podcast too. Because when I'm on with Dean in the afternoons, he promotes the shit out of our show. Like, he talks about us like all the time. So
Yeah.
I think
No, and that's how I got to know you. That's how I got to know you. And now that's how this pod got started, actually. So
yeah, you were a regular guest, a contributing guest, based on your connection to the medical
Right.
industry, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
In Ontario.
that being said, medical, I'm sure a big draw for all you guys is because you have Dr. Locke on there and people are tuning in for accurate, legit medical advice. I saw the chiropractor work getting done on Jimmy. It all looks legit.
And actually, his chiropractor said, "No, you're not really supposed to do it that way."
That's illegal. Eh? We didn't know that. So
yeah. I was worried about that shunt shifting. That's a hard one to say. The shifting
no,
shunt.
no. We're allowed to show video. He's allowed to show video in the room, but he can't actually in Canada.
Oh.
You can't, as a chiropractor, your license negates you from actually showing physical manipulation of the spine.
Really?
Oh, I see that on TikTok all the time. Must just be from the States.
It's
well,
just
yeah,
the
you may lose your license then, Locke, because I saw those adjustments getting done online.
But that's just a hobby. I don't actually have a.
Okay. Speaking of the hobby,
fake license, kind of like driving.
You guys had me call in. Well, actually, I called in on my own. You guys had mentioned, let's talk some terms here, okay? Between everyone.
Okay.
There's some medical terms. There was a time back on your show when you legitimately said you think taint was a true medical term, and I loved it. I thought that was amazing that you genuinely felt that way.
Well, we found out it's not. It's actually gooch. Is the
remember? Oh yeah, gooch is another good one. Do you remember the actual term, guys?
What is it again?
Remember?
Jimmy knew it, I think, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't.
Maybe he was just Googling it and pretending.
Para something? What is it?
I said perineum. And they call it the taint. You know why they call it the taint?
No.
Because it taint the front and it taint the back. So that's where that word came from. So I thought it was amazing. You guys thought it was it's that kind of no man's land down in there, and it's called the perineum. And I remember you thought it was another term, perineum. Locke.
I thought perineum was like something else, but
perennial, like a plant. Like I think you thought it was going into that. So all right, let's do another term. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Does anyone know uvula?
Uvula.
Anyone?
Belly button.
No, it's the
thing in your throat.
It's the thing in the back of your throat.
Yeah. Well done. The dangly thing.
Yeah. Okay.
What's that for?
Only men have it.
No, that's Adam's apple.
They have more reactive or less reactive, I guess. Yeah.
What's it for? I don't know.
It actually helps.
It's
to hit the high E.
It actually helps you from ingesting food through your nasal cavity.
Okay.
And imagine that sight. And it actually provides saliva. So
I'm constantly shooting crap out of my nose.
Well, you're not supposed to eat it through your nose.
This one's for you guys, radio guys. Epiglottis. Anyone? Epiglottis.
I have no idea what that is.
So, anyone? Jimmy, you look like a baby.
It's got to be our throat if it's like our voice box.
It's something in our. Yeah, it's something in our throat.
Our esophagus.
So you're right close. So it's a piece of cartilage at the base of your tongue. When you swallow, it'll protect your airway so you don't choke. So the food goes down the right tube, which is, as you said, Grant, the esophagus. So when you get that frog in your throat, that's usually a spasm or something going on with the epiglottis. And it's probably a pain in the ass for a radio guy. I can only imagine. All right, next one. Pyrexia. Anyone?
That's a fetish for dinosaurs.
It's not a cookware either. It's not what you cook Thanksgiving dinner in. Anyone?
No, that's Pyrex.
That's right. But there's a relation there, Jimmy.
I have no idea.
It's a fever. It's a fever. So the only reason I brought that one up is with all the COVID mess going around, we often in our world talk about pyrexia and febrile and that. But Pyrex is supposed to cook really high, really get really hot, the Pyrex cookware. Hence that.
Because it's hard ceramic.
I had no idea. We're going to learn so much today.
Yeah, right?
I only got two more, guys. I'm not going to keep you forever. So I just know that Dr. Locke was on, and I wanted to ask you about bradykinesia. Bradykinesia.
I don't know about that either.
It could be a colleague. Could be a colleague. So brady in the medical world of any kind means slow. So my name, Brad, literally means slow. It's the prefix.
Okay. All right.
Kinesia is movement. So it's basically slow movements or reflexes. Is that any of you guys?
Locke would call me that because I have to run to keep up with him.
Yeah.
I have no.
You're probably
I
extra
have-
fast, Jimmy.
I have no reflexes when I get when you go for your medical every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they tap you.
They give you the old swack on the knee. Mine never moves. And
An
I've
alcohol
asked him,
thing, Locke?
I think I don't know, or like a weird brain
Jimmy's
thing.
got bad reflexes too.
But every time, I've asked him a couple of times. The fact that I have no reflex, and he just skirts it. Goes, we got bigger issues with you.
So your candle that.
Alcohol numbs reflexes, Locke. Does that make any sense? Yeah. So does that make any sense?
Well, that might be why I have no reflexes.
That's
Now,
why every time I'm drunk and I fall and I land on my face.
that's when your injuries are happening, Jimmy.
Yeah.
All right, one more, guys.
Now with doctors, I give them the 2-day total instead of the 7-day total.
Yeah, I went to the doctor on Friday.
Yeah.
And he did the how much you drink in a week, and I said 15.
I use 15
too. Because I know that's the number that Health Canada gives.
and that's 15 is the 2-day total. Yeah. So that's why I usually get the 15 in. Right?
So Grant,
if he ever calls me out for it, I'll just go, I thought the 7 was a 2.
My girlfriend was in the room and she rolled her eyes very hard.
Grant, you actually studied for a physical. I've never heard of such a thing. I didn't know you could study for that test. All right. Hydrospadias.
Listen,
Last one, guys.
It's actually pee.
That's what?
Is it pee?
Did you say pee?
It's hydro.
That's what he said.
Yeah. It is pee related.
Golden shower.
Okay.
If your urethra does not protrude from the end of the penis.
Oh, is that when it comes out like the bottom?
It could go side, bottom, top, around.
My friend had a kid and it had to have an operation on its wiener because the urethra came out the bottom or something.
Worst
That's right.
Start.
Yeah.
So that's what this one's called, and it doesn't. Yeah, that's not just bad aim, guys. It's not just bad aim. So this is.
I got good aim.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Good aim and good pressure. Still.
That's all I got for the medical quiz side of things. I know, Jimmy, you're also working on a podcast, correct?
Yes.
I brought it up here. Was this the final answer? Was this the final version?
Yes.
Yeah, so the Jedi Jimmy podcast.
Yeah.
Have you released anything yet, Jimmy?
I'm going to be doing that around the 15th. My first.
Okay, excellent. So do you want to preview anything, or do you just want to leave it at that and let people follow along?
It's basically my first series is going to be 9 episodes or 10 episodes, and it's going to be about the Boba Fett's series on Disney Plus.
The Book of Boba Fett.
The Book of Boba Fett.
So you realize I won't ever be invited as a guest, Jimmy. I don't know if I could help you in any way, shape, or form on the Jedi podcast.
The thing is, though, is I need non-nerds like yourself that I could teach you, and then entice,
Right.
I think this is going to be a podcast that focuses on Jimmy's knowledge of Star Wars. I don't know if it's going to. I don't know if we're going to be. It's going to be a guest related thing.
It's rare mix, Jimmy, because I just want to show this here.
Oh yeah.
This is rock star James White.
That's one sexy dude.
It is now.
Music, country.
When was that?
Karate for sport. That's the best part.
What year was that? That was like 2000.
26. It says, Jimmy. So it was half your life ago, right? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Not even.
Yeah, that was
not even.
That was
So the quote, don't tease is a quote there. If anyone's not able to see this picture, it's
Abraham Lincoln said that.
Jimmy's mugshot from his basketball days. What were these guys called? The half pints? Is that right?
The Canadian half pints, yeah.
And they were a traveling group of basketballers, right?
Yeah, put together by a pedophile. And
that's not even a joke.
Okay, so we should probably get rid of this. But I want to see the quote there, Jimmy. It said, "Don't tease." Does that "don't tease" quote? Did that work for you?
We used to do an anti-bullying program in school. That was like the whole behind, like the thing behind the basketball. The basketball was to be the comedic end, to loosen people up, and then we used to talk about being bullied and stuff like that.
Yeah. So Jimmy still does it. It's something that he's maintained through his broadcasting career too. Like he does a
pink shirt day thing.
Yeah, he does an annual thing. We have quite a few quite a few events that we've done around bullying.
Yeah.
That's
Jimmy.
Like the first time when I started doing it, when we became a show, is I was just going to the odd school. And this past year, because of COVID, we turned it into a Zoom thing where I had probably 30 classrooms on board. 40
classrooms that signed up for it. So we promoted it in March, right? That's when Pink Shirt Day is?
February. It's February 26th, I think.
Okay, so at the beginning of February, for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, we promoted that he was, because we couldn't go to a school last year. He couldn't do it in person. So we were going to do a Zoom thing, right? So we had a Zoom thing set up at 11 a.m. on Pink Shirt Day, and people were invited, schools were invited for a little talk from Jimmy and then a Q&A. And I had no expectations. Jimmy had no expectations. Yeah. I remember when we were talking about it, we thought, well, what did we get? 10, 15?
Kind of the number everyone thought.
Yeah. So when we had well over 30, I think closer to 40 invites that we sent out, 40 different classrooms. So a couple hundred kids tuned in. So we're actually talking about, it's actually worth mentioning now because we've talked about possibly making that even bigger, doing, something a little bit more across the country as well, right? Like why just limit it to Edmonton? Why not? If there's a school interested in Tabor or Ontario or whatever, maybe they can tune in too. And we're also trying to find a celebrity angle, possibly somebody to jump on with Jimmy and tell their story as well.
There's a number of celebrities, a number of bigger profile people that are average size or even huge, like football players, that also went through bullying and all that kind of stuff.
There's an Edmonton Elks player he's quite involved in anti-bullying campaigns and things like that.
Yeah. So someone you wouldn't expect to be bullied, went through it too.
Yeah.
It's great to see, Jimmy, and I'm really glad that you're reaching back, even though all the crap you've had to go through but you're giving back, and it's a huge effort on your part to help kind of pay it forward. And I acknowledge you, but I also acknowledge all of you guys. I know your time's precious here. We're touching down on almost half an hour, so I'm going to let you go soon. I usually end with 3 questions for each of my guests, but I'm going to do 1 each. Okay. And then we'll go from there. But I also wanted to say that you guys often acknowledge us on your show or in general as responders and how much we're doing for you, but I need to pay it forward. And you guys are a big part of my day and our day when we get off the trucks, when we get out of the stations, and we can actually unwind. Either I stream live you guys or I get in on your podcast, which I highly recommend everyone to join in. It's a good laugh. You guys are a great podcast.
Well, you know what, like, to add to that, at the beginning of COVID, there was a lot of conversation about how to handle the lockdown and if we needed to change the show. And I remember we had somebody that we look up to that we were talking to about the show, and he said, listen, you guys, you need to just keep doing what you're doing. Don't overthink this. I think more than ever people are going to need to have some have a laugh, but at the same time, if we can help out as well, these mics, with it comes a responsibility and I think a certain amount of power in the community, and if we can use those mics to help benefit, then we will, and we step up when we can and when I think it's fitting, right? So,
and we all appreciate that. I just wanted to kind of shake your hand right back. You've patted us on the back, and it's paying it forward. So let's thank you. The 3 questions I ask. One, I'll start with Grant. Grant, if you could be a fly on the wall anywhere, anyone, any conversation, what's it going to be?
Ooh, that is
or
tough.
Who?
Or who?
Yeah, any situation where you could just kind of hover
I
and
want to
listen.
hear O.J. Simpson on the golf course with his buddies. What are they talking about?
Do they tease him about it?
Are you not going to be an associate there to some charge?
I'm just in the golf cart listening to it.
All right.
It's a Sunday afternoon with OJ.
Okay. The next time Jimmy has sex, I'll answer for Grant. Actually, if we have footage of it too, we're totally sharing that with everybody.
Oh, can't wait.
Especially if it's a bigger girl, like, not like an average size woman.
That could be its own podcast, let alone episode. One of the questions I asked each of my guests isn't going to be fair for Grant or Locke.
Okay.
So I'm going to put it to Jimmy. It's where's the smelliest place you've ever been, Jimmy? I know what Locke and Grant are going to say. So. Jimmy.
Smelliest place I've ever been was probably when I was a plumber, and it was a house that it was a rental that they turned off the water because they stopped paying the water bill, and they were still using the toilet. When the toilet got filled, they'd use the sinks, and
oh my god!
And then they finally got dragged out by the sheriff's department, and it was like we had to replace everything.
How does that happen in Tabor? People don't know. Jimmy's from a town of like 2,000 people.
Yeah,
8,000 people.
Whatever.
It happens everywhere. Humans are the stinkiest things going, and I agree that. Are you a licensed plumber, Jimmy?
No, I was a plumber's helper, but I had a lot of experience.
Yeah,
my dad taught me this stuff from.
His family owns a plumbing company, White's Plumbing.
Well, they also
hire a white guy for the job.
They also have a corn farm, and they run the power company down there.
White Power.
And they offer tours, right, guys? They offer tours.
Neither.
That's the Glory Hole tour.
That's Locke and Grant's private business.
All right.
GloryHoleTours.com.
That's right. You get a shirt on your website.
Yeah.
Locker.
Yeah.
One food and one food only for the rest of your life. What's it going to be?
Damn it.
Only one
beer
thing.
Classified as food?
it's
you can live off beer. There's that asshole that does it every year during Lent.
Yeah,
remember?
For Lent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm going with beer.
Okay. I'll appreciate that. I'll accept that. And I'll also thank you guys a lot for joining. I know it's a big push. It's a big ask, and it's huge. I hope we can get
getting us all together at the same time. That's the only real issue, right?
And then you and I had
before we started recording, we've got this new setup in the control room, and we've been trying to get this to be a regular part of our show, a video component. And you ended up being a guinea pig for that. But outside of this, like if you hook up with the three of us in the afternoon, I'm at home in my basement, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy's in the den of sadness on a piece of crap laptop. Grant will be on the balcony with his smoke and his phone, right? Like this is a little bit more. We got the mindset of broadcasting right now, as opposed to, when do I start drinking mindset?
We'd all be drinking.
Yeah, that's good.
No, I appreciate everything, guys. I'm just gonna let you take it for 1 second here, Locker. Just gonna do this.
What am I doing now?
Transferring ownership.
Okay.
Just three of us now.
Well, I don't know. This is awkward. I don't know what to say.
What are you guys doing today?
I have PTSD now.
I'm actually kind of scared of what's going on right now.
I think we're still recording as well.
I think it is, yeah. It's recording in the corner.
All right. Where did he go? Did he run to the shitter? Brad!
I don't like. There we go.
I came back, boys. I'm actually on a laptop that was the power supply had started to calf, so I thought I was plugged in. But you guys did great. That was a great job, Locke. Thanks. That the ratings will be right up for that.
Okay. We're getting the ratings of your podcast up.
Yeah. I don't know if the streaming thing is on my end or your end. I'm reading you fine, Locke. I don't know with the extra screens here.
You know what? When you see the recording, you'll be surprised. I mean, we're all new to this, but that's the one thing that I've been surprised when I watch a podcast that I've been on in the past where they were a little glitchy or the video would freeze or whatnot. The actual recording, it wasn't there. It was just in the presentation window. So I think
what I want to do though is I want to wish you guys a safe. We're in the holiday season now, I guess. We just had a parade here last night, so I guess that means it's officially
it's official Christmas.
The holiday time. And you do have a tree up, right?
The tree up like 2 weeks ago, yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. So I'm going to end with this, guys.
We plugged the lights in on the weekend, so we get the lights on the house now. Yeah.
Are you a multicolored light guy or white?
Yeah.
Multis?
Yeah.
Well, good.
Quad color.
How about you, Jimmy? How's the den looking?
I don't have anything. I'm not getting a tree this year because it makes no sense because I'm not here around Christmas.
Yeah, he's got Corn Fest, Winter Corn Fest.
We're going to go back. Yeah.
Yeah, they dig out the cornfields.
I appreciate everything, guys. I really do. Don't go away. I'm gonna just kind of finish off here. I'm gonna stream you out, but I'll chat here in a second. But I think before we go, we'll show everyone this. Wow. the old.
How'd you get your hands on that? That's our new Christmas card.
Card. Is it new or is it Christmas past?
This is the.
We must have posted that picture.
Is that the new one? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the new one. Yeah. Yeah,
So,
we send out. We did this boudoir photo shoot a couple years ago, and we've been milking it for our Christmas cards every year. So we send
I will
those
admit,
out.
I tried to download that electrical, whatever concert you had going on in the Den of Sadness to play today.
Your DJ, the rave.
Yeah,
we got 100 videos. Just
that one is a weapon of a video, though. I don't know how to get it from Facebook to this. So I encourage everyone to go check out the
we
rave.
We have a YouTube page. Yeah.
Okay. At the Den of Sadness, you got to go check out the
rave.
The
rave. Yeah, that was something else, and you guys are just you never cease to amaze me. So
it was an illegal one because there was a time when they had banned raves in Edmonton for a period of time, so that was an illegal one at Jimmy's apartment.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Well, I think it's
probably dark web.
That one might still be illegal, Grant. I'm not sure that one's going to ever be legal.
All right, Brad.
I'm going to let you boys go. Appreciate it a lot. I look up to you guys a lot as far as your humor, your wit, and your comic relief. And it's really good to tune in with you guys, and I appreciate your time.
Well, and good luck with the pod. Okay.
Thanks, bud. I'm just going to have my little closure. Jimmy, be safe, bud.
Okay.
And Grant, thanks for the time. Locker, same thing. Hopefully we'll chat again soon on Dean's pod. And I'm gonna click you guys out, and just don't go anywhere yet. But I'll be there in 2 minutes. All right. Well, we did it somehow. Not sure how, but we did it. What a great bunch.
That worked.
You got to check them out. Cruz FM 95.7 in Edmonton. The Locker Room is their show. Stream them. Follow their podcast. Do whatever you need to do to listen in. They are a great bunch. Also wanted to thank I've Got Your Back 911, the group that's supporting all of us responders and supporting our mental health, either through their foundations or through their merchandise. And they got great products, great garb, great swag, also a great cause. This gentleman and his network, DeanBlundell.com. Couldn't do this without him. It's how I met these guys. It's basically how the podcast got going. Thanks, Dean and DeanBlundell.com. We're available to listen on DeanBlundell.com, Apple Podcast, Spotify for audio, and you can also watch on the Offload Delay YouTube channel. And the socials are right there with the Instagram, Twitter, again, YouTube, and a much lesser used Facebook. So that's it, everyone. Be safe. Hope you enjoyed this week's pod. It was great having these guys. Appreciate it again. Jimmy, Grant, Locker. Appreciate your time. We'll be in touch soon. Stay safe.
We have to go, Brad. We're back on air right now. Okay, thanks, bud.